You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live.
Athletes. Featuring in-depth interviews with athletes and members of the sports industry.
Black Hollywood Live. Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live,
Athletes.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, sports fans. Welcome to another exciting edition of BHL's Athletes. I'm your host, Thaddeus Massey, and joining me today is the incomparable, the journeyman, the guy you know as Joe B / Joe Beezy, a.k.a. and all that, and then some.
So many.
Joe Smith is in the house today.
Oh, man. What's good,
ladies
Thad?
and gentlemen.
Thanks for having me on. How you doing?
Man, I'm glad that you're here.
Oh, man, I appreciate it.
This is an amazing thing. For
Oh,
me
man.
as a sports fan, I know the sports fans out there are like, Joe Smith? What? This guy has accomplished so much in his life, his career.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm just like, wow. I'm just thinking back, and I'm telling on myself as far as age is concerned. But I remember when this dude was in college, like,
Ooh, telling on me, too.
oh my goodness. They're talking about
but
going back to
like you
university.
say, it was a journey. It was a fun journey, man.
Yeah.
Everywhere I've been, it was a journey. And it was a lot of fun, man, being drafted, going from Maryland, what I did in college, to being drafted. It was a lot of fun. And
Let's not
ended
skip.
up here
Let's
in
not.
LA.
Don't.
So
let's,
I'm gonna go ahead and let you
let's
do your
not-
thing.
Yeah, let's not skip over college. I don't want to skip over college. I want to start with college because
Let's do it.
that was my first like memories of you, like my first impression of you, like back in the day, like in the 90s, 94, 95. You know, when you were in Maryland and you were killing the game. I just remember because
Appreciate
I was at UCLA at the time playing ball.
Oh, so
right.
you was over there with Ed O'Bannon.
Ed
and them.
O'Bannon
man,
brothers are my boys,
yeah.
right?
Oh,
Chuck and
that's
Ed,
what's
right?
up.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
So we had went to the Rose Bowl.
Uh-huh.
And just right after that, had put the pressure on the team. They came out and won the national
won the national
championship
championship, yeah.
like right after. But you were killing it
Oh, man,
on the
appreciate
other
it.
side, like,
Appreciate it.
and it was like, yo, this cat Joe Smith is a monster.
Appreciate it.
Like, you know,
The thing about it, that year they won the national championship, I was one game in the NCAA tournament. We was one game short from facing them in the Elite Eight.
right,
Yeah, we lost to Connecticut that year, and they went on and won. But if we would have beat Connecticut, we would have faced UCLA
right,
that year. So,
right. It
you know
was a
what I mean?
big deal.
Yeah, exactly.
So
It
everybody was
huge.
looking forward to that,
right
to that matchup.
Exactly.
And I'm just like, I don't know who would have squeaked out away from that.
Oh, you a Brewer though. You got.
Yo, I keep it real.
I can dig it.
You know, I look at it is what it is.
I
You
can
know,
dig
we
it.
just played Oregon in football the other day. It's like, yo, yeah, it is what it is. You gotta, you know, they good. Somebody's good. You just got to give it credit for what it is. I mean,
Just
dude,
got to be real with it.
you know,
sometimes.
your resume speaks for itself, especially your collegiate resume. It's just like,
man, appreciate it.
like crazy. You won the Naismith Award.
Yeah.
You know,
My sophomore year.
Yeah, your sophomore
Uh-huh.
year. You were all ACC.
Yeah.
You were all
I was
everything.
actually one of the first freshmen. I mean, it was at that time it was only 4 freshmen before me
Mhm.
that I'd ever been first team all ACC as a freshman, and it was I think it was like Len Bias,
yeah, he
Magic
was phenomenal.
Johnson
It's a
was
legend.
one,
That's another legend.
and yeah, exactly. I mean, it was some legends obviously, but you know, it was only at that time it was only like 4 people that had ever been player of the year as a freshman in the ACC. So it was a good year. It was a good experience. I enjoyed my time in Maryland, man. I
Right.
swear I did.
Right.
I swear I did.
They say college is like the best years of your life, but as
Right.
far as I'm concerned, I like to move forward.
Right.
I'm
No
always
doubt.
like the best is yet to come.
It's yet to
if
come.
it's this good now, it's gonna
Imagine
it's
what
just
it's
gonna
about to be
about to be like later, right? And
No
it
doubt.
and it did get better for you.
Right.
You know, you were the first round,
Mm-hmm.
first pick
Mm-hmm.
of the draft,
Right.
which is any and every kid's dream to be
No
the
doubt.
first pick
No
overall of any draft.
No doubt.
That's like the top dog spot.
It was a dream come true. I mean, it was my draft class, like, it was myself, it was Kevin Garnett, Rasheed Wallace,
Yep.
Jerry Stackhouse.
Yep.
I mean, it could have went number 1
Yep.
pick could have went either way.
Yeah.
Antonio McDyess went number 2.
Right.
So we had a deep draft class. So
Right.
you know, I was sitting in that green room draft day, man, and I swear that was and each team gets 5 minutes to in between draft to, decide who they want to pick. So the Warriors had the first pick. They 5 minutes came up, and, I look around the green room. We all in there sweating, palms nervous. Everybody, just looking around, eyes, everything's tight. You know what I mean? Mom's parents in there all tight.
Right.
Everybody all tight, don't know what to do.
Right.
And, as soon as my name was called, man, my first memory of it is, seeing my mom's reaction. She almost fell out of her chair, man, thanking God and, praising Jesus. And, it was a good sight for me.
That has to be a good feeling, just knowing.
No doubt.
Just seeing that the fruits of your labor is actually going to help your family, your mom's life.
Exactly.
That's such a rewarding feeling because, a lot of people don't really know and understand what an athlete who makes it to that level, all the blood, sweat, and tears.
Right.
And they say blood, sweat, and tears. I want you guys to know.
It's literally.
There's literally blood, sweat, and tears that go into becoming any kind of professional athlete on any level.
No doubt.
To have any kind of success is just amazing.
Right.
When you just have to sit back and look, fans get to just watch you once a week or once or twice a week.
They don't see the behind the scenes.
They don't see the behind the scenes.
And the thing about it, as a youngin', growing up, your parents go through the same blood, sweat, and tears that you go through.
Right.
So for
even
you to
harder
be
sometimes because they're the parents.
Because they're the parents and they want to see you succeed.
Right.
They want they want to push harder for you. They want to see you out there doing well.
Right.
And to be able to do whatever I could to give back to my mom.
Right.
That's what made the joy. So that's what made it so special to be not just make it to the NBA, but just to see that joy on her face back then.
Right.
It was crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
I could imagine. Tell me how instrumental, or tell the fans how instrumental your mom, your family, your support system was coming up. Because we got 6 foot 10 inches of man sitting right here.
No doubt, but I swear I was a baby back then.
Right?
So
tall as the teachers in 5th grade. You're like, wow, getting picked first for every sport.
Everything.
During recess, right?
No matter what it was,
like,
just because I was
Joe.
the biggest. I couldn't even soccer. I wasn't even good at soccer, but
Right.
they picked me because I was the biggest.
Right.
Stuff like that. So, but that support system is key, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, my mom, if it weren't for her, like a lot of those practices and workouts, whatever that I needed to attend, I wouldn't have made it.
Right.
Without her taking time off of her work, off of her job, whatever, out of her weekend, out of her schedule, to make those opportunities happen, man. That support system is necessary. If she couldn't do it, I got 6 brothers and sisters that got me to it.
You got 6 brothers
and
sisters?
Yeah, and I'm the youngest of 7, so
Wow.
they made sure I got there.
Wow, I even had that in my bio. I was like, wow, youngest of that many kids?
Yeah.
So moms are strong.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Moms are strong, and she raised us pretty much by herself. So
did any of your other siblings
they played sports. Yeah, no, they played sports, but none of them never went to college and play. I was the first one ever to go off in college and play, get a scholarship and go off and play and do whatever I did.
And I'm sure like having siblings, that are older than you and you see them play, you get the advantage of seeing the roadblocks and the hurdles and the obstacles that needs to be overcome to actually see, okay, if I want to get to this level, then I need to do this. And that's a big benefit.
And growing up where I'm from Norfolk, Virginia, we all have them.
The VA.
No doubt. And we all have cats in every city that got so much talent, but head's not on straight, or somehow get swayed the wrong direction, and that talent goes to waste.
Mm-hmm.
And my brothers, they make sure that I was in line, man. I got a brother. He's about your height. You would believe it.
Right.
Yo, I got another brother.
I'm about 5'10", 5'11". I ain't that short, but he still got me by a cool foot. But I ain't that short.
I said that because we had a joke off air before we got us.
Right.
But no, I got a brother. He's about 5'10", 5'11", and I got another brother. He's about 6'3", 6'4".
Okay.
And they both. One is 12 years older than I am, and the other one is 14 years older than I am.
Oh, wow.
So growing up as a youngin', they used to beat me up, man. I used to get so many abused so bad by my brothers, man. And it made me tougher, man. And whenever they took me out to the court for that street ball, man, I swear it was like nobody could touch me because they had already put that toughness in me.
Right.
Yeah.
How old were you when you realized, like, I'm nice? No, because there's this point in every athlete's life when they're like, I think You know,
Right.
but the passion turns into a knowing.
Right,
And then once you know, you
Exactly.
kind of start honing the skills
Right.
as opposed to just pursuing wanting to do it and
Right.
playing on the playground.
Right.
So around what time was that for you? Like, what was the thing that was like, yo, I can do this?
That came, I say, about my senior year in high school.
Okay.
Yup, because before I wasn't heavily recruited out of high school. Before my senior year, I came out. Even though I was, putting up good numbers, I
Right.
wasn't one of those top recruits, in the country, across the country.
Right.
And then my senior year, I had explosive season, started getting more recognition. Then more college recruits, more letters start coming in.
Right.
I started getting more confidence, and I'm like, hey, I could do this a little bit now.
Right.
So I narrowed down my decision on which college I want to go to 5 ACC schools, which at the time the ACC was,
ACC was tight around
exactly
that time.
around that time.
It
The
was
ACC
tight, physical ball,
exactly,
like,
and every team had somebody that's in the pros even to this day.
to this day.
Yeah,
You're
so
absolutely right.
it was a tough conference, and I narrowed my decision down to 5 ACC schools because I wanted to be in the toughest conference because I wanted to prove that I can, make it to that
Make it
next
to the
level,
league,
make it to that next level, and that was a conference I felt I could do it in.
Right.
Yeah.
And he did that. he went to college and he balled out.
A little bit.
That's what we call balling out. Showed us, you know what? That's what they say. Showed off. Not mad at you, Joe. Okay, so
Appreciate it.
So how did you narrow your decision down to Maryland? How did it get to Maryland out of the 5 schools that you were?
See, out of
thinking about
everything,
going to?
Maryland had an advantage that people wouldn't even think was an advantage. They had just came off of probation, like the year before.
Oh.
They had a nice freshman class that just came in, young freshman class,
Right.
like 3 freshmen that just came in that was top 25, top 50 in the country.
Okay.
And then Keith Booth, he was a top 5 or top 10 player from Baltimore. He signed there.
Okay.
And then, I just had to seal the deal. The
All
only thing
right.
was missing. I mean, we had a point guard that was a sophomore when I got there. Shooting guard that was a sophomore.
Okay.
3-man was a sophomore.
Okay.
And they all got the experience from the year before. And then we had
Got you.
2 freshmen coming in, and both of us were going to be starting right away. So Maryland coming off probation, and allowing the team just to rebuild at that time, it was just like the perfect timing. Like
Right.
timing was just perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, what better way to get recognition than help a school rebuild?
Right,
Especially,
exactly.
ACC team,
especially one that's in need coming off of
Exactly.
probation.
Exactly,
That's
coming
a
off of
very
probation.
strategic move. Joe showing these guys some smarts. He's like,
Yes.
yeah, let me go ahead and make this chess move right on
Yeah,
over to Maryland.
exactly.
That's smart. And Maryland's always been kind of like around. They've always kind of
Right.
been like
Always been exactly
a force that you
exactly.
kind of got to be reckoned with. You
Exactly.
always got to kind of pay attention to
Pay
Maryland.
attention to them.
They're the Terrapins, right?
Yep, Terrapins.
Yeah, Terrapins.
And
Yeah,
it was always just one. They were always just one player away,
Right.
from being a real competitor in the ACC back
Right.
then. And then from then on, now is every year we, one of the top teams in the ACC now. So it was kind of like a turnaround thing right there. We won the championship. We didn't win the championship, but we won the
Right.
championship in 2001 at the school with Juan Dixon and those guys. So as an
Right.
alumni, I feel proud. That I felt
Right.
like I felt like I won the championship with them.
Right.
Because of that rebuilding process and when it started.
So were you kind of thinking in the back of your mind like, yeah, we might be another Michigan. We got these 3 freshmen coming in.
I was,
This
but
is a good
Michigan was
Fab
still
Five.
popping right there.
They
though.
were. They
Michigan
were.
is crazy because my freshman year they still had the Fab Five.
Right.
My sophomore year we faced them in the Sweet 16, but without Weber. And they put us out in the Sweet 16. It was I remember that game like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
They had Juwan, they had Jalen Steele,
Yeah,
Jimmy
man.
King. They still had
They
everybody
put us
else.
out,
I know, at least a sour taste in your mouth, don't it?
Yeah. The sad thing about our defeat, I think we were up by like 19. And it's real bitter. Sorry, Tyus, and Chuck.
That is bitter.
It was bitter. Like we were up by almost 20 points, and then we still lost that game. I don't know how we lost it, but we did.
That's a game of basketball,
I'm
man.
glad
It's a
it's in
game
the
of
past.
runs.
Yeah, it was painful. So moving on, like your experience, your college experience. Just what was your college experience like in Maryland after you got there and you're playing ball? When did you start seeing your success when you got acclimated to the college game?
Oh man, Not
How many years were you there?
I was only there. I was there 2 years.
You were there for 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
So you hit
I mean,
the ground running,
pretty much,
so to speak.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, my first game was against Georgetown, and they had Othello Harrington at the time, and he was a sophomore that year, and he had just came off winning Biggie's Rookie of the Year, and had so many accolades nationwide. Right. And we played at actually where the Washington Bullets used to play. It was called the Capitol Center.
Right.
We played the game at the Capitol Center. And I came out that game and ended up with like 26-9 first game right off the back. So I came out the gate running, man.
This dude.
We were unranked and everything, and they was I think they were top 10 in the country. We were unranked. The first game out the back, we had to make a statement.
Okay, so you hit the ground running, no pun intended, since they're on the court running, and you're seeing some immediate success.
Not really immediate. I mean, it was still always that question mark because I was a little skinny kid.
Right.
Yeah, I was tall but lanky, skinny kid. A lot of people didn't think it would last.
But you had a growth. I mean, you had like this incredible growth because I don't think anybody really remembers that Joe Smith of college. You know what I'm saying? They remember the beast that was in there.
Exactly.
Wrecking everybody.
Exactly. It didn't take long.
So it didn't take long.
Yeah, it didn't take long.
You learn quick, especially to be there 2 years and then roll out.
Yeah, it didn't take long.
So it takes most players, it takes them that whole college career
it takes a while.
Accelerate to that level of play where they're ready to take it to the next level.
Right.
You hear some of these stories, they should have stayed in another year, they should have stayed in school, they weren't ready, blah, blah, blah.
All the time.
That really wasn't the case. Like, there had to be some kind of, trigger at that time just to make you what helped take you to the next level in your game.
Oh man, I think it was
at that point of your career.
I mean, a lot of people don't talk about coaching,
right?
But I mean, I think it was just the coaching I was getting at the time as well. Gary Williams, even my high school coach, man, he's probably he's one of the best high school coaches in Virginia history. Jack Baker. And Gary Williams, obviously at Maryland,
right?
And the work that they made me do in the off season, it was ridiculous. I mean, whether it was at Maryland, I was running the football field, and I mean, it was stuff, conditioning stuff, on court stuff, just to make sure that game for game that I can go out there for 40 minutes in college, for 40 minutes and be able to compete and sustain the energy I need in order to be successful and in order to help our team be successful. So a lot of that coaching, man, pays big dividends in the long run.
Yeah. Strength and conditioning is a big deal.
No doubt.
And every major program that takes itself seriously has a reliable strength and conditioning coach, strength and conditioning program.
Right.
A lot of people don't understand or realize that the difference between high school and college athletics is there's a bigger jump than there is between college and professional.
Exactly. It is.
That's really the weeder. That's the huge weeder right there.
Exactly.
It's like, you from the average guy says, I was on my high school football team. Or I played on the high school basketball team.
You hear that all the time.
You don't hear a lot of people saying they made Division I major conference ball.
Right.
And then to even excel there.
Right.
Did you go into college knowing that I'm going to only be here for a short time?
Not at all.
Because some guys are like, man, I'm going to come out here for a year, like Stephon Marbury or Carmelo or something like that, and I'm going to be here for a year, then I'm bouncing.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, I expected to be there 4 years. I mean, to be honest with you, I expected to be there 4 years, and it happened a lot quicker than I even expected.
Right.
I mean, I went in there, with my head on straight, went in there, focused on putting the work in. But I mean, things happened a lot quicker than I expected. I swear on everything.
Right.
I mean, it was like almost like things just clicked and everything just happened overnight. And,
okay. Sometimes it happens like that.
It happens like that.
Right.
Exactly. And I mean, like I said, I put the work in high school. I put the work in before the season started in college. And I mean, when the first game tipped off, man, it seemed like I was just a few steps in front of it and a couple leaps higher than everybody else.
Right, especially at 6'10". You have a lot of 6'10"ers, period. That's pushing 7 feet. I mean, goodness. So what was that thing that was like, yo, I think I'm gonna go ahead and induct myself in the draft.
Right after my first year, like going down the stretch of my first year, my freshman year, that's when I started getting some draft I started getting like some draft stock rankings, as you would say.
Ah.
You know what I mean? That was after my freshman year, you know,
Right.
they saying I could have went then, but I was 18 then. You know,
Yeah.
wasn't no way I was gonna be. There was no way I was about to
No
step into
bueno.
that, step into that world. But I mean, and then so I decided, stick around.
Yeah.
Over the summertime, you obviously hear your name. Became preseason
Right.
player of the year going into my second year,
Right.
and then came out and had another great second year. Man, that's when I decided it was time.
And that was wise.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you went out right when it was ripe.
Right, exactly.
You can't it's hard. There's so much criticism from naysayers and people that say, look, this person should have stayed in school, or
Right.
this person should stay and get their education, or whatever, blah blah blah. But the reality is, no one knows what's really best for that person
Right.
than that
Except
person, and maybe their immediate family.
Mhm.
They're the people that know, or the experts that are working for them or working with them,
Right.
that are helping to advance their career. And you can also say, oh, the agents and this and that.
Mhm.
They just want to try to get their piece or whatever. Blah,
Exactly,
blah, blah.
right.
But at the same time, if they can't make a deal that's good for you, they don't
get
paid
eat
either.
either.
They can't eat. So everything is in everybody's best interest
Right,
if you're all
exactly.
on the same team working
Exactly.
together.
I mean, if you have the talent, man. I mean, I've never been one to tell nobody to stay in school because the education is always going to be there. But if you have
Right.
that talent, man, I mean, the fact that any serious injury can happen at any time.
That's right.
And I sat down. Before I made my decision, I talked to Gary Williams, the coach in the office. He called me in the office one day after the season. We sat down. We talked about it. He told me to go.
Right.
He was like, if I was you in your shoes.
Coach was like, yo, it's time to go.
He was like, if I was you in your shoes and your situation, I understand you leaving. From there, I went home. My mom and I, we sat down in Shoney's restaurant in Virginia,
Shoney's. Shout out to Shoney's.
No doubt. We sat down at Shoney's, man, and had a breakfast there because we used to always go there for breakfast when I was growing up, just her and I.
Right.
And, that's what she was like, asked me how I felt about making the decision, what I felt, how was I leaning, what was I leaning towards doing. I told her what I was leaning towards doing. She had my back, and that's all I needed.
Yo, mom says,
I
got the support.
That's all I
You
needed.
don't realize how much that support felt.
It does.
You know what's crazy?
It's like a world. It's like everything's just lifted off.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
It's
swear.
like when I used to even compete, it was
Right.
like just the fact that moms was there.
Right.
My game level just
Just
went up. It was weird.
Just
It's
skyrocketed.
like,
Yeah.
wow. Like I don't know how to explain that. when
Yeah, it's
it
like a
comes to-
totally different feeling.
Yeah, that dynamic is
Yeah.
like really like bananas. But anyway, so now you're about to just cash in the chips for the league on all the accomplishments you've done collegiately,
Right.
and it pays off.
Mm-hmm.
Draft comes around,
Right.
like you said, you were sitting in that green room,
That
looking
green
around,
room.
and you got a class.
Yeah, no doubt.
Antonio McDyess, Kevin Garnett,
Rasheed Wallace,
Jerry
Stackhouse, Damon
Stackhouse,
Stoudemire,
Damon Stock, who consequently ended up getting the Rookie Player of the Year.
Player of the Year that year.
And you got voted second for that, right?
Exactly.
So you came.
Yeah.
It was like
yeah, it was
like it was a tight
yeah,
squeeze on that
It
race.
was a tight race.
But you
We
still
both had great stats. I can't take nothing away from Damon. I mean,
Right.
he came in. Toronto was a new franchise in, and as a rookie coming into a brand new, totally franchise with the Raptors,
right.
he did a great job with the team that year. I was with the Warriors. I had great numbers that year as well. So
Right.
it was a neck and neck race.
Right.
And
But that just goes to show that you got drafted first, and this
Right.
guy ended up getting. So
yeah,
you had a
and
class
he was the
that was
sixth
like,
pick, I think. He was the sixth. Kevin was fifth. Yeah, Damon was sixth.
okay.
So yeah, from
that
that
sounds
draft,
about right.
for him
Yeah.
to be the sixth pick and then win Rookie of the Year,
Yeah.
it just shows how deep our draft class
Yeah,
was.
your draft class was historical,
Yeah,
to say the least.
and like I said, we still got cats out there just
Yeah, that's how you know.
Going
like,
in right
it's
there,
legendary.
exactly.
It's legendary. That's a
Exactly.
legendary, like a historical. That was a historical class, the draft
Exactly.
year. That 95 was like, wow, they got some cats coming out. So you signed with the Warriors.
right.
You signed your NBA, your
Rookie
first
deal.
NBA rookie deal. I know it had to feel great.
It did.
That always feels great to sign
Oh,
your
yeah.
first contract. What was the first thing that you went and splurged on? I always have to ask this question. You always have to be like, what did you treat yourself to? Because you got to treat yourself to something.
Yeah, you know what I
And you were how old at that time? You were 20?
I was
21?
19.
You were 19? 19.
19.
Okay.
So I was 19, and I wanted the first thing I bought a Mercedes.
Mm-hmm.
But I rented everything else. But the first major thing I bought was my mom's crib back in Virginia.
That's nice.
Yep, I bought my second year. Yeah, my second year in the league. I rented, and when I got drafted, I was just renting a place up in the Bay Area.
Okay.
And then I obviously needed a whip to get around,
Right.
so I bought a whip, and then waited till I got a little bit of chips stacked up, and then I went and bought mom's a crib back in VA.
That's nice.
You know, so got her situated because she came out to the Bay with me when I got drafted.
Okay.
My first year, she came out, stayed with me, lived with me my first year.
Because
so
you're still only 19 years old.
I was 19 years old, exactly.
You're still a
not
teenager.
gonna let me release me to the world like
Right.
that. So yeah, so she came and stayed with me. So when she went back,
Mhm.
I got her the place to go back.
Got you.
So yeah, it was
Okay.
good.
So what was your going with as far as your career is concerned? What was your experience like with Golden State? Like how did that experience, because you were there for what, 2.5 years? You had a 3-year contract, and you ended up there for 2.5 years. And to be the first round pick and then leave after 2.5 years is not really that common.
Right.
So was there stuff behind the scenes going on? I mean, that's a stupid question, right? There's always stuff behind the scenes going on that we don't see, that we don't know about. I mean, anything you can talk about, feel free. We're online.
He said free. Oh man, I don't know if y'all remember, but it was I was there. Y'all remember when Spreewell choked the coach? You remember that?
Yes.
I was there. I was with the Warriors there at that time. Yeah.
Okay.
And it was a whole lot like that from my rookie year, my second year. That happened my second year.
Okay.
And from that point on, it's like they just broke that whole team up. After everything went down with Spreewell,
Yeah.
they had arbitrations. We had arbitrations, and all
Right.
types of stuff went down behind the scenes. And then, you know, coach had to give his statement. We gave our side as players, and that's what we saw.
Right.
And, you know, I guess they felt some type of division between the players and the organization. So they
Right.
kind of blew that whole scene up.
That
blew
has
that whole
to be,
team up.
you know, that's kind of a unheard of,
Right.
kind of a super unorthodox, like
Right.
something you don't expect that has nothing to do with basketball, nothing to do with your sport.
Yeah.
Kind
But,
of
I mean, that's
situation.
how. I mean, it gets personal. So things get
It does,
personal. I mean,
yeah.
in all types of businesses,
Right.
things can get personal.
Right.
And no matter what, even in sports, even in the NBA, even in, I mean, just any regular business. I mean, things can get personal, and then you know, feelings can get touched.
Yeah.
So you know how it is.
Yeah. People's feelings get hurt. People get butt hurt. I'm sure after the
man.
arbitration, it was like, I can't
Yeah.
believe such and such said this.
All
And
the-
you know what's
exactly.
funny? The reading stuff, when you read something, this is why y'all kids got to stop texting so much and call somebody on the phone, because stuff can get lost in translation
Exactly.
when you can't really hear how somebody
How they're saying it
said
and
and the
presented,
context
right.
and all that, and you read it on a piece of paper, you're going to interpret it completely
Completely different.
So,
They could be saying it so innocent.
right.
But you could take it a whole different way,
Right,
as
exactly.
they saying it with aggression.
Exactly.
You know, and that might not have nothing to do with it.
Right. That's why I like the platform here at BHL Athletes, because I want to give you guys an opportunity to,
Right.
you know, to be yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like
I like it, man.
right.
I'm chilling. I love it.
Like you go to ESPN and you watch certain things, and just how the media actually will capture something that they want to portray.
Right.
They'll capture what they want to
Right.
capture, and then they'll be like, bloop, and they'll put
But-
that out there.
And,
And that's all everybody else
The
sees.
thing about it, if the video don't give you what they want, they'll make a steal. They'll take a steal of the worst predicament you could be in.
Right.
Like whatever that video, they'll take a steal of
Right.
the worst situation that you was in that whole video.
Right.
And then go feed off that
Exactly.
and try and make a whole story out of it.
Exactly. So I expect to be getting calls from CNN and NBC and ESPN, thank you letters, so I can give the media a better look. I'm a good look for y'all, just so y'all know.
No diggity.
I'm such an ass.
I'm a
Anyway,
co-sider too.
okay, so after Golden State, this is when the journey began.
Yeah. That's where it started.
This
Went
is
to
when
Philly.
the record, like the search
Yeah.
for the record.
That's where the journey
This
started.
is when the journey started. You're tied with 3 other players.
Right. I think one is Jim Jackson, right?
Jim Jackson.
I don't know who the other is.
I got it here somewhere. I'll find it.
Who's the other one?
The other two. The other two are. Let me see what these guys are. You're
Oh
with.
man, I think.
You've been on 12 teams
Right.
in your career, and 2 of them you've been on twice.
Right.
Right, which
Minnesota and
was
Cleveland.
the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Philadelphia 76ers.
3 of them I've been on twice. Then.
Is it 3?
Yeah, I've been on Philly twice, Cleveland twice, and Minnesota twice.
Oh, that's right. So you were the Cleveland Cavaliers
Yeah.
twice.
Twice,
The Minnesota Timberwolves twice, and the Philadelphia 76ers twice.
Twice.
Those other 3 players that you're tied for the record are Chucky Brown,
Chucky Brown, that's the name I couldn't think of.
Tony Massenberg.
Oh, T-Man, that's another Terp right
Yes.
there. Yeah, I don't feel bad. I got another Terp up there with me. I'm
Right,
good.
right. and Jim Jackson.
Yeah.
Jimmy Jackson. So, you know, some people could look at that as a negative thing, but you
I
could look,
don't.
Yeah, you could look at that 2 ways.
Uh-huh.
That you're just that valuable. You possess something that not a lot of players bring to the table, where it's like, oh, I'm gonna be here.
Right.
I'm gonna be in the league.
Right.
Somebody's gonna need my services, regardless of their team situation. It's like that quarterback. It's like
always gonna be necessary.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's no doubt.
You know, honestly, I'm that dude. I think Brett Favre can come back right now and still play, and somebody will sign him.
Somebody will sign
I
him.
think
Minnesota tried to.
Somebody will sign him now. You know, it's just that some people just have certain like intangibles
Right.
that they bring to the
That they
table.
bring to the table.
And you're just like, and you can't deny that,
Right.
blah, 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 this, and that
Right.
from this athlete.
Right.
And you definitely have a lot of those qualities that you brought to the table.
Right.
You know.
I mean, the thing about it, I mean, I was probably, one thing they could never question is how hard I work.
Right.
You know, on the court, off the court, you know, game time, before a game, after game, practice, you know, I'm always in the gym and I'm always getting my shots up. I'm always doing what I need to do in order, you know, to stick around.
Right.
And then, I mean, it was the fact that, like you said, I brought something else to the table. I brought, whenever I got into the game, they knew what they were going to get out of me every time. They knew I'm going to knock down shots.
Right.
They know I'm going to rebound the ball. They know I'm going to defend.
Right.
They know I'm going to bring some energy. And they knew that. Every team I went on, they knew that, and they knew exactly how to use me and when to put me in certain situations. So it was it was a positive career, man. No matter where I went to, couple of stops, you know, I was a free agent, you know, so you know I was obviously moved because of free agency. A couple times I was traded. Then one time, you know, I had a contract situation in Minnesota.
Right.
That kind of, you know, maybe that's why I left Minnesota for a year and went back.
Right.
So.
Right. That was kind of evident. They were like, let's go
ahead.
It
was either that or I had to sit out the whole year.
Right.
So I you know, of course, went to Detroit for that year.
Right.
Then went back to Minnesota.
How was it? You played with Garnett there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How was it playing? How was it playing with Kevin?
Oh man, this is my little brother.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that's my little brother, man. I mean, it's we you know, we created a bond when we was there, friendship when we was there, man, and you know, he's probably one of the best dudes I ever played with.
Right.
Know? So
yeah, he's definitely one of the greatest players ever
right,
played his
no
position.
doubt.
He's done his thing, and undeniably so. And you played with a couple of other legends.
Oh yeah.
You played with LeBron James.
Played with LB. Yeah.
You played with Kobe Bryant.
Played with Kobe. And I played with my guy. I don't nobody like to talk about him, but I mean, I know he ain't, you know.
Who's that?
AI.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Play with AI. Don't nobody like to talk.
Yo, another one of the greatest players ever played the game.
Yeah, exactly. He just retired not too long ago.
Right.
Officially, but yeah, I played with AI, and we played together growing up, AAU.
Really?
Yeah, since we was like 8, 9 years old.
Okay.
Until he got in trouble for the bar fight back in Virginia.
At the bowling alley situation?
Yeah, exactly. But we played together, you know, as kids, you know.
Right.
So shout out to AI too, man. Yeah.
Shout out to AI. You know, he was that dude was a real athlete.
No doubt.
Played basketball,
No
football.
doubt.
I mean, led his team to like a state championship as
football,
a quarterback
yeah.
in football.
Football and basketball.
And then basketball did the same thing.
They
Like,
knocked us out, man. Oh, man.
Right.
Yeah. They knocked us out my senior year. No, my junior year was his senior year. And they knocked us out of the regionals. They beat us by 2, 52-50. I remember that game too.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a great man. You talking about a jam-packed gym? It was like standing room only in there.
Wow.
Oh man,
I
it
bet.
was like one of the best high school games I've ever seen. Like
So-
crowd-wise and game wise.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that dude was an electrifying player.
No
Like,
doubt.
I mean, you can't deny.
He played like that when he was a kid too. That's the thing about it. Like
That's
his
crazy.
game never changed.
That's
It
crazy.
just, I mean, he just got better with
Right.
it, but that's how he played
Right.
all the time.
Yeah. Shout- and for those of you who don't know who AI is, that's Allen Iverson.
Allen Iverson.
If I had to explain that to you, you should be watching this anyway, or you should be watching this so you can learn
So,
something.
yeah,
Anyway.
no doubt, educational.
So, Allen Iverson. Let's talk about these. Kobe Bryant, Allen Iverson, LeBron James.
Right.
Who, from your position
Mm-hmm.
at forward, was the most complimenting to your style that you enjoyed playing with on the court?
Oh man.
Which is separate from being a teammate.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Who-
That's LeBron hands down.
LeBron.
Hands down.
Okay.
Yeah, because like I mean we all see it every night. You know, he's probably one of the most unselfish dudes out there. And like you say, from my position and my standpoint, setting pick and rolls with him, running the floor with him,
Right.
you know, being out there just getting open, he's gonna find you.
Right.
And no matter where you are on the floor, you know, he's gonna find you. He's gonna make the pass. He's not gonna look you off. He's not gonna look in another direction or act like he didn't see you. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's gonna find you because he wants. You know, that's the only way he feels he can win is to get everybody involved.
Right.
And you know, that's why at my position, you know, he was probably the funnest dude I played with out of those three.
Right.
But you know, you can't take nothing away from AI or Cole.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, both of those guys bring it every night, man. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's like Kobe. I can't say this, but Kobe is almost like a bigger AI, it's like a taller AI almost to a certain extent, you know. So
Right.
both of those guys bring it every night. We know what they brought to the table. We see it all the time.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can't take nothing away from them. But from my standpoint, I think LB. Yeah, I'm rolling with Brian with that one.
Okay. Shouts out to LeBron.
He got me a lot of easy looks up there in Cleveland.
Right.
I can't lie about it.
Right. Okay, so you went through a flurry of teams.
Right.
We get to the Lakers. So talking about Kobe, you were at the Lakers.
Right.
And how did it feel to like be here in LA? Like you're here in LA now.
Right.
You out here in LA, and you know you're working on some music and doing some things.
Right.
We're gonna talk about it in a second.
Gotcha.
But you got here to the LA. How did it feel to be a part of a legendary? Like, you know, like growing up in our generation, it was all about the Lakers and the Celtics.
And I grew up a Lakers fan. That's why it was special for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I was even though East Coast cat, you know, I was a Magic Johnson diehard fan, man.
Yeah,
I
man.
love the Lakers, man. And
Yeah.
you know, Showtime back then, you know, just watching them play. And you know, even though we got the games late at night, you know, I still got a chance to see them play quite a bit, you know, growing up. But I mean, it was man, it was almost a dream come true.
Right.
I mean, just to be when I got that call from my agent, I was actually in the locker room in New Jersey, and we was about to play a game in the locker room. And I get a call before the game from my agent. I'm like, this is rare.
Right.
So I, you know, called him back. You know, he was like, how you feel about going to LA? I'm like, LA what? He's like, the Lakers.
LA what?
He was like, the Lakers.
Are you punking me right now?
I know, exactly.
Right.
I'm in the locker room. I got my Nets jersey on.
Right.
And I'm on the phone. I'm like, LA what? He's like, the Lakers. I'm like, what you mean? He was like, they're looking to make a trade with you tomorrow. I'm like, man, make that happen right there. I went back in, put my uniform on, went and sat on the bench. And I didn't even play that night because the trade happened at halftime of the game. So I didn't even play for
Trade happened during the game.
yeah.
Swag.
The trade happened.
Let's take him right now. Lakers ain't joking around. Ain't playing.
Yeah, it was crazy because I had fans and stuff coming, like Nets fans,
Yeah.
you know, coming by the bench, congratulating me on coming to the Lakers.
Right.
And I'm like, dang, is it official yet? How they know about it already?
And then to go from the Nets to the Lakers.
Yeah.
Nothing against the Nets, but the Lakers are the Lakers. Like I said,
yeah, no
the Lakers
doubt.
are the Lakers.
No,
So
history speaks for itself.
exactly. Like, you know, all those banners, you know,
Right.
up in the rafters.
Right.
You're like, man, this is history right here.
Exactly.
You know, so what was that experience like playing with Kobe, who's who's definitely already seen as one of the greatest players
No doubt.
to ever play the game, and
No
he's
doubt.
he's still in the mix. What was that experience like for you as a player?
I mean, it was a good. I mean, it's always a good experience because I love to see certain cats at
Mhm.
certain levels. I love to see how they prepare for games. I love to see how their hunger.
Right.
How hungry they are. Because like you said, I played with KG, and we all see how his energy is out there on the floor. When he's talking to himself, headbutting the ball, headbutting the little back post, pumping it, hitting himself in the chest.
Right.
I've seen all kinds of reactions and emotions.
Right.
So I wanted, just being around Kobe and just seeing how he reacts and how he prepares for the game, and just trying to learn some things because I'm always learning, no matter how old you are in the game.
Right.
You can always learn from other guys out there. So I was always learning, especially from the elite players.
Yeah.
Because their preparation is totally different.
Right.
I mean, they get there hours and hours before the game, before the popcorn people even start the popcorn popping. They in there getting their shots up before anybody get there. It's just them and another coach. So their preparation is totally different, man. And just seeing that and being around Kobe and seeing how he prepares, it was a good experience.
Real quick, how do you feel his recovery? How his recovery with the Achilles?
From what I know about Kobe back all right, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, of
That's
course.
from Joe Smith. He played with him.
Of
He
course,
knows.
yeah,
Like,
of course. I
he
mean, he's going to take his time to make sure he's going to come back healthy.
Right.
But when he do take that floor, he's going to be. I think he's going to be sharp. I think he's going to be sharp. He's one of those guys, man, that usually don't take a day off.
Mhm.
Maybe now because of his Achilles right now, he might be doing it a little slower.
Right.
But I mean, he's always going to be a tough matchup for anybody.
Yeah,
no
this
matter what.
This dude is a real competitor.
No doubt.
So we wishing Kobe the best.
He's
course,
too
'cause
smart
we
for these
we
young
need it for the
cats. That's
Lakers.
what it is.
Right.
Like for real, he's
He
too
has an
smart for these young
experience.
cats.
Yeah.
Like I mean, he's seen it all pretty much out there on the floor. Double teams, traps. I mean, he's seen pressure. I mean,
Right.
all types of defenses he's seen.
Every situation.
Every situation. So
And he had the best coaching.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
for him just to come back, from an Achilles injury, that's not taken away from what he got up top.
Right.
So he definitely got that advantage all day.
That's a word from Joe. Joe Smith, aka Joe Beasy. So it's been 2 years since you was with the Lake Show.
Yeah, I couldn't leave LA. You say like you said,
Right.
I got stuck.
You got here. Everybody comes out here, they get addicted. Stuck in LA. I was like, I'm not going nowhere. I'm gonna stay right here. I love it. I love it in LA. So what's going on? Like you're AKA Joe Beast.
No doubt.
I see you see the hashtag on the
hashtag
hat.
Beast, hashtag
Beast on the
Beast,
hat.
Yeah.
You in the booth spitting.
Uh-huh.
Was this something that everybody knew the talent that you had already? This
Yeah.
is something you've been doing like the whole time you were playing?
Yep, I started doing this like my second year in the league. So I guess when I was like 20, 21.
Mm-hmm.
And I started every team I went to. It's crazy because I started a lot of other cats doing it too. A lot of other NBA cats with the music too. But every team I went to, man, it was as I started buying my studio equipment. I put studios in basements in different houses, different cities. And it's just something I just really fell in love with doing, man.
Right.
But I really couldn't focus on it at the time because I was doing the basketball thing.
Right.
So it was more focused on the basketball because that's what was paying the bills.
Exactly.
So I focused on the basketball, but I was still doing the writing and just perfecting the art. And then, say a few years ago, I released my first mixtape called The Beginning. Last year, I released my second one called The Moment of Truth. And now in the process.
Can we go get that somewhere?
Oh yeah, Moment of Truth right now is on iTunes. The Beginning, that's old. It was on. I don't even know if I want to tell y'all what that said.
Well, don't tell us where that's at. Tell
That's
us
on
what
MySpace.
Tell us. Yo, MySpace. Actually, MySpace is making a comeback.
No,
I
heard that was.
So
on
don't
MySpace.
sleep on MySpace. MySpace is creeping up on the music game.
I heard. Is
like
it?
for real.
Okay. Yeah. Well, make sure y'all go get that on MySpace.
Like
there.
for real.
But yeah, the Moment of Truth is on iTunes right now. So, and then
Joe Beast, Moment of Truth.
Yes, sir.
iTunes. Go get it. Go check it out.
3 projects in the making right now. I got my next solo project. Then I got my girl Kiss Major. She's a R&B singer, dope voice. And she's working on a project. She got her solo project that we're working on. Then we got a combination project with both her and I called Sexy and the Beast. So
What?
yeah. So yeah, I mean,
I like that.
Yeah,
Sexy and the Beast.
called Sexy and the
That's
Beast.
hot.
So we working, man. And,
Are you collabing with anybody else? Are you trying to like make any collabs happen? Are you just doing all in house right now? Like where are you at artistically?
Right.
As far as the direction that you want to go with.
I mean, I'm
with
open
your
for
art?
all collabs. But right now we're just doing everything in house. We get the production in house, and either she'll write a hook or she'll write a song, and I'll write a hook or I'll write a song, and right now everything is just in house. And
Okay.
man, anybody, I'm looking for any collab. We're looking for any collab.
And I don't know if you guys can see her right now, but the beautiful
yeah, she's over here.
Kiss Majors in the studio joining us right now. Tall glass of water.
The Sexy and the Beast.
Yes, sexy is right. You have never lied. So
I love it.
you chose properly,
Oh,
Joseph.
appreciate it.
Let me get proper on you, Joseph. You did well. It's like when your dad comes like, you did well, son. You did well. Yeah, you pat you on the back. You did well, son. You did well. Yes, I'm being full.
Appreciate
Anyway,
it.
so yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Appreciate it.
To what you got, coming out next.
Appreciate it.
Because just lyrically and otherwise, you're I think you bring something to the game that I don't think anybody like really
I surprised a lot of people. I surprised a lot of people.
I'm listening like, I wouldn't necessarily say like, some people are like, oh, stick to basketball, bro,
Right.
or blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't necessarily say that about you.
Appreciate it. I surprised a lot of people, man.
Yeah,
I tell you,
I was like, what? Joe Smith? This is Joe Smith? Okay.
Appreciate it.
When Kobe dropped his back in the day,
Right.
I was like, bruh,
Like, stick to basketball.
stick to basketball. You're going to be one of the greatest. Just, you're going down history, Hall of Fame, comparing you to Jordan, all that. Stick to that, though. Everybody doesn't have
Right.
multiple talents.
Right.
So
Appreciate
that's
that.
something to be envied. You
Man,
need to
I
hold that
appreciate that.
close and
No doubt.
harness it and just
No doubt.
and keep moving on
The
it.
thing, it's crazy because the same work I put off the court, on the court, I put in, my writing and everything. Throughout my career, throughout this entire time, I'm pushing almost 1,000 songs.
Right.
Yeah, my catalog, even from throughout the years. So I always stay on my writing. I'm always writing all the time, whether it's something I'm gonna lay or not. Whether I'm just always writing, whether
Right.
I'm recorded or not. So it's all about putting that work in.
Right.
Because I didn't want to come out and be one of those cats that they talk about like that.
You're right.
Exactly. I got a lot of pride in myself.
As you should.
So I didn't want to be talked about like that.
Exactly.
So I made sure I put the work in with the pen and that pad before I and mastered a few things before I really put some stuff out.
Right. That's smart.
No doubt.
And that's very strategic, like how he made that move to go to college.
Yeah.
How he made that move strategically,
Exactly.
and then how he decided to go to the league strategically. You made the same move. Is the league is professional sports in the music industry like how
hand in hand.
Hand in hand. It's all
Hand in
entertainment,
hand.
huh?
Yep. Hand
So
in
you
hand.
just took the same approach to how you dealt
Right.
with the league
Right.
and NBA and professional sports, and just brought it to
Right.
to the
Because
music
it's so.
business.
What people don't realize behind the scenes, they see the basketball, they see the sport. Well, behind the scenes, there's so much business behind the scenes, man. It's
Right.
ridiculous. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So you learn a lot. I played 16 years. So I learned, and like you say, on a lot of teams. So
Right.
I've seen the business side on, from all angles, pretty much. So you kind of carry that over to what any athlete or whatever that's been through it kind of carries that over to whatever they do or choose to do after they finish playing.
Right.
And it's usually pretty successful.
Yeah, well, we're looking forward to your next drop.
Man, so am I.
Do you know when you have?
No,
we
we don't have a date
launch
yet.
date?
No, I won't have a launch date yet. We right now, like I said, it's 3 projects. Mine is almost done. I believe Kisses is rounding up too.
Okay.
And the combination, we've been working, man.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy because
That's what's up.
it's crazy because a lot of people find it hard to write for one project.
Right.
And we writing for 3 projects.
Right.
So and each project is giving you something different. So it's like, you know, it's been a lot of work. It's been a crazy grind like the last few months.
We're gonna have to get you over there on BHL's The Beat.
Man, let's do it.
Because now you're in a whole nother field.
Yeah.
You know, I had to get the legendary Joe Smith from the court out here, and we got the legend in the studio.
Yeah, we
in the
can
making.
get her. Yeah, we can get her up there. She can show her pretty face.
Most definitely.
You know?
I mean, goodness, we can't. You know, Kiss Major back in the house. Sure, why not? I can do a little more of that for another hour sometime.
He says not
Twist
a bad.
my arm, sure, why not? Well, you know what? We enjoyed having you here today.
Oh man, I appreciate it,
and
man. It was a lot of fun,
you
man.
get great personality.
Thanks,
you got
bro.
a lot of good energy.
Thanks, bro.
And
Appreciate it.
And you do definitely have the energy of a performer and somebody that's
thanks,
like,
bro.
you know, I'm sure that definitely comes, you know, from playing ball. But not
Right.
everybody that plays ball has that kind of personality either.
Exactly.
And you got that winning smile as well.
Appreciate it.
And where can we find you? Can we find you on any social networks?
Oh
Anything?
yeah,
Where
I'm
do we
on
find you right
Twitter.
now?
You can find me at JoeBeast95 on Twitter, Facebook, just plain on Joe Smith. Reverb Nation, Joe Beast, Sexy and the Beast on Reverb. We got like 5 Reverb. How many Reverb Nation pages we got, baby? Sexy and the Beast.
That's what it is.
Sexy and the Beast on Reverb Nation. Kiss Major on Reverb Nation. Kiss Major Illuminated. Is that right? On Facebook. And Nova Unit Records. That's the label.
And there you have it.
Hashtag Beast.
Hashtag Beast. So you guys got all this information now. You know what to look out for, and you know how to find him, and you probably going to see him back on BHL sometime soon.
You know it.
I'm your host, Thaddeus Massey. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Club Thaddeus. And sports fans, we're glad you guys came through today, and we'll see you next time.
No doubt.
Peace.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, Dario Kristen, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network. If you have questions or comments, tweet us at BHL Online or email us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. For more exclusive content, visit blackhollywoodlive.com. This has been a presentation of the Black Hollywood Live Network.
Forgot about the cameras.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.